A rose is not just a rose. With hundreds of varieties, roses are one of our most beautiful and diverse flowers. I bet some people that you know is in love with roses, and the little baby roses bushes all year long. They take care of them, and that's why we have Larry Hurd here. He is a horticultural foreman for the South Suburban Park and Recreation District, and we're going to talk a little bit about free rose pruning workshop that's coming up. It's nice to see you, Larry.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you for being here. First, tell me a bit about South Suburban Parks and Recreation and what your horticultural team does there.
Okay, South Suburban Parks is one of the largest recreational facilities and districts within the South Metro area. We're south of Denver, and we maintain just over 100 miles of trails. Wow. And then we maintain about 80,000 trees. Okay, and we also maintain an award-winning rose garden, and we maintain a lot of the floral displays amongst the parks, so perennial beds, annual beds, things like that. That's pretty much what we do.
You have a big event coming up on April 25th.
Yes, on April 25th from 8 o'clock a.m. to about 12 noon, we have our rose pruning workshop. This is an annual workshop that we have done for the last 20-some years, and it's at our War Memorial Rose Garden at 5804 South Bemis Street, which is in Littleton area, and it's a large rose garden, has over 2,000 roses in there. That's why it's very important to have a lot of volunteers. We're looking for at least 75 volunteers, and just to help us go down and prune the roses back and get them ready for the upcoming season.
Okay, so volunteers right there at the bottom of the screen. There's some contact information for you. You can also call 303-721-8478. Hit extension 68481. We'll have that at the bottom of the screen for you too. Tell me about the War Rose Garden. That sounds interesting.
The War Memorial Rose Garden was actually created with the City of Littleton fathers, as well as members of the Arapahoe Rose Society. B.B. Williamson used to be president of the Arapahoe Rose Society back in 1968. That's when the garden was actually created and developed and installed. We still have roses that are actually there today, 40-some years later, even after these roses were planted.
My goodness, that's beautiful. How many variety of roses are there out there?
We have 250 different roses themselves, and a lot of them are hybrid teas, grandifloras, floribundas, David Austins, and miniatures.
Okay, we teased earlier that not all roses have thorns. Is that true?
That's true. Roses actually have prickles.
Prickles?
Prickles. Prickles are actually flat, and they are on the sides of the rose bush, the stems themselves, whereas thorns are round.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, that's interesting. So why is it important for us to prune our roses?
The best time to prune roses is actually in the end of April, beginning of May. Hopefully the dangers of frost are over, but we know how that is around Mother's Day. What it does is it promotes flowering. Okay, so pruning your roses back at that time of year actually stimulates new growth to promote flowering.
And can you give me a demonstration
Sure.
here? I know you have shears.
Yeah, I have a pair of bypass pruning shears right here. This is what bypass pruning shears kind of look like. The blade actually bypasses and goes around the side of an anvil. Okay. So
and how far down do we actually prune when we're counting, like from the rose head or the rose?
Well, a lot of times in springtime, what you want to do is really remove a lot of the older stems themselves. You can see as you kind of cut these off, you're going to cut at about a 45-degree angle, okay,
and
just
that far
above
down,
that bud.
Huh?
Oh, yes.
So this one right here, give me an example. We would go all the way down to here?
We are actually going to go a little further on this one. We're going to go down to where there's a little bud eyes. Some of these are a little hard to see, but the bud eyes themselves are usually near a leaf scar. And you can see this old leaf right here, where if you were to take that off, there's a scar, and there's a latent bud that lays down right underneath that leaf.
You want to get rid of it.
And that's what you want to cut at.
Okay, and how soon will we see regrowth? And then also, I know they're tricky. Do we fertilize and water them a lot?
I would hold off on fertilizing, but you're already seeing new growth already. This dark burgundy purple foliage is that's all the new growth that hybrid teas and grandifloras will push out naturally this time of year. And so when we're going ahead and pruning these off, you want to make sure you prune them off fairly close to those leaf axils, about 30 to 45-degree angle.
Do you mind if I try one?
So here.
Yeah, so this one right here, I would go all the way down to where the green is?
Right down to where the green is.
Okay.
So, okay.
Let me do, I don't want to get the pretty one, right?
So.
Okay, watch your finger.
Okay.
I don't want to get your finger.
Yeah, you got it.
There we go,
Yep.
at 45. Thank you so much for giving us a sneak peek.
So,
if you'd like to attend or volunteer for free rose pruning workshop hosted by the South Suburban Parks and Recreation District, it happens Saturday, April 25th at the War Memorial Rose Garden. For location and for details, more information, just go to their website. It's ssprd.org. That's ssprd.org, or call 303-721-8478, extension 68481. You can also send an email to Larry Hurd at larryh@sspr.org.